So the other day I decided to watch Captain America Winter Soldier again. And as was the case the first time I watched this movie, the person that most caught my eye was this Hydra agent. Brock Rumlow is his name. He's played by Frank Grillo. And I was thinking, if anybody is an actual superhero in this movie, it is this guy who is apparently 56 years old. I think at the time of filming this movie, he was in his early 50s, maybe 51. But he looks absolutely insane. This dude is roped up, and so I wanted to look up Frank Grillo and do a natty or not on him. So just to fill out Frank's character a little bit, he definitely started out with his life being more fitness-based and fighting-based than anything else. He's Italian, he was born and raised in the Bronx, and he started out practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in 1991. He has a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so he's already kind of an accomplished fighter. And of course he does the show Kingdom, where he is a fighting instructor, I believe. But I wanted to talk more about what his protocol might be, because this guy, if you look up images of him, it's unreal, the kind of physique that this guy has at his age. It's not just his body that's insane, it's his face too. I just was blown away when I found out that he was 56. Upon further research, you will find that he apparently is in the 5 to 6% body fat range. I don't know if I believe in that, but he is definitely super shredded. Six-pack abs, you can see his bicep veins all the time. I will just start out by saying I did find a quote where he said that he's never done steroids. He talked to Muscle and Fitness, and he said that he had never done steroids. There was a quote in that article, which I will link below. As far as supplements that he is actually on, as far as I could find, he told Men's Health that he is on 10,000 IUs of vitamin D, which is what every guy who says he's increasing his test is on, and turmeric for inflammation, which he says he deals with because of all the fighting and things. I think another interesting thing about Frank Grillo is his diet. I mean, he does a phenomenal job with his diet. If he really does stick to what he says he does, he says he eats nothing post-agricultural revolution, i.e. he's not eating like all of these processed grains and stuff. He also says that he eats grass-fed beef and wants to make sure that even the cows he's eating are not, eating anything he wouldn't eat. But I personally think that there's no way that Frank Grillo is not on T replacement at his age. For those of you who don't know, testosterone replacement is really helpful for guys that are a little older especially, but a lot of young guys do it as well. The thing about T replacement is that your body stops naturally producing testosterone once you get onto a protocol for the most part, so you do have to do it forever. You're kind of locked in for the most part, but he's 56, so I mean really for guys this age, the odds that he's still producing enough T to be around 5% body fat and have this kind of muscle mass is just very slim. And so as far as the testosterone thing goes, the one kind of important thing that I would point out is that he also quoted to Muscle and Fitness that he drinks beer and wine and he's okay with going out. And in fact, there was a quote where he said he sometimes finishes a whole bottle of wine on his own. In case you were unaware, wine, beer, alcohol in general reduces testosterone. So he's kind of playing around with his tea at 56 years old and somehow still has this body. So I would say that's probably the most damning evidence right there, just saying that he drinks here and there, or a lot even, and still being able to look the way he does. So first of all, he's 56, right? No matter what, a 56-year-old's T levels are just not high enough to look like that. I mean, maintaining these levels of body fat and this muscle mass at his age without help would just be incredible. Either he's a genetic hyper mutant, basically, and he does clearly have really good genetics because he's Italian and all that, but also he's a professional actor, so, I mean, he's making money on his body. If there was anyone that was going to be in a place where they should be doing T replacement, it's somebody who's being paid to look good. So for him to not invest into his body as much as he possibly could would kind of be stupid on his part. But again, I think that test replacement is probably as far as he goes, and here's why. His face looks like he's in his 30s or early 40s. He clearly cares about the way he looks. He actually told Muscle and Fitness that he's backed off of some of his fighting and jiu-jitsu regimen because he wanted to protect his face. Talking about how injuries and stuff are hard to cover up, and it doesn't help his acting career to have his face all beat up. So for somebody that's willing to back off of something that they're passionate about in the name of keeping their face clean and looking good, I don't think that he would risk getting on a more intense protocol than test. And the reason is because, the hardcore stuff like human growth hormone and tren and things significantly age you. I mean, look at these young guys. There's young guys that are running these kind of heavy cycles that are in their early and mid 20s that look like they're in their mid 30s because of what these protocols do to your face. So I don't think he would risk that just purely because of the way his face looks. Another thing to remember is that the thing about these people that look this amazing in this culture is the lighting, the pump, the tan, right? The cameras. There are so many aspects that work into this, but when you see these amazing pictures of him, that's not how he looks when he wakes up in the morning. I guarantee you if you saw this guy when all of those things were not in place, you might question if he even worked out. So, and another thing to keep in mind is that this dude trains insanely hard. If you go and look him up, I mean, his training regimen is absolutely insane still at his age. The amount of cardio and stuff that he works works in too, it does make me believe that he could keep these body fat percentages. I mean, the amount of work he puts in, you cannot take away from that. That kind of work ethic definitely leads to having a body like this. Looking from the outside at someone like Frank Grillo really just inspires me to stay after it, because honestly, if you can expect to even have half of the physique this guy has in your late 50s, why would you not just keep pushing? It's an awesome way to live your life, and it's an awesome example that you can actually achieve these things later in life too. I think it's a worthy goal to set, and I don't think that even if he was on test replacement, that should be a reason to not try to push to copy that or to be better or to better yourself as you get older. So I'm hitting chest, and I'm thinking about the different ways that you can hit chest as far as the scapular plane, the angle of the shoulder, and the fibers of the chest. And so I'm testing out different ways to hit the bench press. But the point in this is that it's not just on a flat bench that this could be the case. You'll hear people talk a lot about the way that you grip the bar and the way that your arms are angled, mattering a lot about how you're going to be able to press well. Essentially what we're talking about here is the fact that your elbows, your shoulders, and your wrists can all move, even if your hand is still on the bar and still gripping tightly. And I think this applies with bench, but it also applies with any machine, and it applies with cables too, and I'm gonna try and show you that. I think an important thing to note about this is that the proper positioning for the back and shoulder is down. 45 degrees is optimal on any kind of press, right? When you're starting the motion, you're down low, but once you get to the end of the motion, you can cause a different type of contraction to happen based on where your arm ends up. So while you might start down here by twisting in and up, you're gonna hit more of these upper chest fibers, or maybe closer to the inside of the chest. It really is all about your mental connection to that, but I would recommend just trying to start low, start at 45 degrees or 30 degrees off of your torso, and then once you're out here, roll in like that, and just notice how much more of the pec you can engage. So you'll notice that I'm doing slow reps, I'm controlling the reps, I am using tempo, I am using the retraction of the shoulders, I'm folding my shoulders inwards, I am twisting my elbows in as far as they go in order to essentially make the rep as difficult as possible. Sometimes you'll even see me actually clasp my hands together at the top of the rep and squeeze as hard as I can. You'll see me driving my elbows in towards each other just to get that last little bit of energy out of the pecs. And what we're trying to do here is really just make the rep as difficult as humanly possible and to get as much as we possibly can out of each rep. That's essentially your goal when you're bodybuilding. That's your goal when you're trying to make your muscles bigger, is to tear them down as much as humanly possible in a safe way while you're in the gym. So next time you're hitting chest, try this out. Try folding your arms in, kind of twisting your elbows in. Focus on your wrist position, your elbow position, and see how much more of a contraction you can get out of your pecs. Thanks for watching the video. If you like this kind of content, please let me know by hitting the like button. It helps my videos spread to other people. Hop down into the comments if you have seen other people that look like Grillo at his age. I mean, I don't know if there's any comparisons, but I post videos every Friday. I will see you guys next week.